these out of the way. There we go. Here we are on a Wednesday. Wednesday. Well, today's sports, we're going to talk about Matthew Stafford retiring. Now, what does that signal? What does that mean for the Rams? I mean, obviously, the Rams aren't in the playoffs this season. They obviously won the Super Bowl last year against Bengals. Sean McVay doesn't really know if he wants to coach right now or not. Obviously, I don't know if Darren Donald's going to be there. I mean, Baker's still going to be there. I mean, obviously, they signed up for a year contract, whatever. And obviously, they can extend him out here. I mean, they have to do something here. So, does that mean the Los Angeles Rams job's open? Obviously, Cardinals fired not only their coach, Cliff Kingsbury, they also fired the general GM also stepped down. So, we got some openings in the National Football League and really good spots that if they could get the right coach and the right personnel going forward, I think these organizations can get back on the track. And if you look at anything like what happened with, look at the Jaguars. Jaguars had the Urban Meyer experience, and obviously that didn't work out very well. Then Shad Khan brought in Doug Peterson. Obviously, he's won a Super Bowl, obviously, with the Philadelphia Eagles. Minnesota Vikings, we got rid of Mike Zimmer and company. We brought in Kevin O'Connell. We won 13 fucking games. Yeah, our defense and our offense has got to get better on certain things, but look at the turnaround of the effects. I mean, look at the Jets, look at the Dolphins. I mean, a lot of that was built based on, Mike, what's his name, Mike McDaniels. Basically, it was started by the other coach that they basically wrongfully shouldn't have fired, but he's obviously with Pittsburgh right now. So obviously Indianapolis fired their coach here. Obviously Jeff Saturday is the intern. Are the Colts seriously gonna make Jeff Saturday their official coach? I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, interim coach as well over in Carolina. That's let's call it what it is. The Texans fired their coach. Obviously the Broncos fired their coach. Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals fired their coach and the GM. And so, and obviously, and the Rams, basically Sean McVay. I mean, does he stay? Does he go? And obviously Matthew Stafford retiring now. I mean, maybe he's not. Maybe Sean McVay's not. His head's not in the game right now. Maybe I don't know. I can't quite tell you, but I can just say, moving forward here, Rams don't have much to work with as far as draft capital because they took it all in a ransom for Jalen Ramsey, which look at now is helping out the Jacksonville Jaguars, solidify themselves in the playoffs this year against the Los Angeles Chargers, getting to host a home game. So, I mean, you could say things went wrong or this and that, Von Miller not coming back, OBJ not coming back, obviously Cooper Kupp going down, obviously Stafford going down, and it was just a snowball effect. Jalen Ramsey wasn't the same cornerback. He wasn't the shutdown, lockdown corner we're used to seeing. And obviously, what's the question mark with Aaron Donald? Does he stay or does he retire as well? But yeah, obviously we got D-Hop talk. Obviously D-Hop's not going to probably stay there in Arizona. I mean, depending on, we obviously got Lamar Jackson trade talks. I mean, we haven't really discussed that very much, because I mean, if you think about the injury that Lamar Jackson had, guys usually come back 2 to 5 weeks. He has not yet come back. And to me, if he was committed to this team, I think he would have pressed forward to try to but I don't know. Maybe it was to heal him, make sure he doesn't have prolonged injuries. Obviously, his contract year, so he wants to get paid, whether it's with the Ravens or maybe with a new team. Obviously, a new team, new coaches. These teams might be willing to trade. So we'll have to see in the coming weeks and months what transpires with those trade talks. Rumors, and I mean, I don't think things can't be official till a certain period of time. So it could all be just hearsay, rumors, and stuff of that nature for right now. But we will truly get to see that. And then obviously we'll get to see the, East West Shrine game where, a lot of NFL eyes are going to be on there looking at the guys that are going to be getting ready to be to make the jump from college football to the professional ranks. So it'll be interesting to see, who does well in that game, and does it bump up the draft stock. Obviously we got NBA, NBA. And last night I was on the Phoenix Suns. I was on the Phoenix Suns plus the 12, I believe it was. Yes, Phoenix Suns plus the 12 here. I was on that here, and that basically it cashed. It cashed because the Suns just, I mean, it was the first game that Curry and them came back, but it just looked like the Warriors just got, and there was no Chris Paul, there was no DeAndre Eaton, there was no Cam Johnson, there was only Mikal Bridges out there and a bunch of other guys. Okay, it wasn't like there was no Booker either. So I mean, the Warriors just got whooped last night. They just got beat, and they played sloppy, turned the ball over a little too much to the likings of but again, it's getting Curry and getting these guys back because Clay and Poole had to basically grasp this team together and try to hold it together. Tell Curry and Wiggins came back. So now with Wiggins and Curry coming back now those guys are going to have to get in the mix as well. And so it's going to take a couple games or two, and then they'll start going clicking again, I think, as far as the Warriors. But it was positive to see that the Suns are still fighting despite not having Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and all these other guys on the roster. Definitely want to play. They all, they're told not to hear the grumblings and all. They understand what's going on. They understand it's a business, and they understand that all eyes are on them. Obviously their GM stepped down. They're gonna have to they're buying new ownership and everything else and all that nature. So it's it hasn't been and obviously the Nets, the same thing. Nets, kind of had the same thing go on at the start of their season, and then they were able to weather the storm. But now, obviously you got Kevin Durant, who's hurt now. I guess he has a knee injury. He's gonna be out for like a month. So, and the Nets are up there. I'd say they're probably about third. They're about the third or fourth position in the East right now. So, how does that affect them going forward? Who picks up the slack for Kevin Durant? So that's just remain to be seen here. So speaking of last night's our picks here, let's run it down here. We'll run it down and we'll tell you what we did and how we did. All right, we had the under 225 and a half in the Pistons and the 76ers. We had the Raptors money line. We had the OKC +2. We had the over 226 and a half between the Cavs and Jazz. We had the Blazers. We had the Blazers money line. We had Suns +12, and we had the over 223 and the Mavericks and Clippers. All right, we'll start off with the under 225 with the Pistons and the 76ers. It went over. Like I figured, and I said that yesterday. I thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to pick this under, and the watch is going to go over. Raptors played well, got the W. What I said yesterday, Which game to watch for yesterday that people didn't really want to see was the Thunder and the Heat. That game ended. Heat won by a point. So I took that +2 with the Thunder. Was a good cover right there, I'm going to say. And then the next game we had the over 226.5 between the Cavs and the Jazz. It definitely went over, and the Jazz won the game. We had the Blazers. They lost barely. You know, they were trailing pretty big, but then they tried to come back, but it was just too much Orlando, and they were able to hold on and win by, I think it was like 3 points. So then we were on the Suns +12 on the spread. Should have went all in on the Suns +500 right there. That would have been a big bet in Vegas yesterday to slab down. And then we had the over 223 in the Mavs Clippers. It definitely didn't even get. It got to 214, I believe. So it went 9 points under. So, and the Clippers won that matchup. So not so good there. And that was basically our NBA. College here. We picked three on the ladies' side, and we picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the men's side here. So we'll start with the ladies first. The Lady Wolverines of Michigan, we had them on money line. They covered. They won pretty solidly. This over 115 and Lady Hawks of Hartford and the Lady Quakers of Penn. It went 106, so it went under by about 9 points. Then we had the Lady Jayhawks here, Kansas, and they got beat pretty solid against Texas down there. So there was a reason why they were +213. So then we had Georgia Tech +5 points on the spread. They covered that. We had LSU Tigers on the money line. They got beat. They got beat pretty decent, which I was kind of not shocked, but I was kind of surprised a little bit there. And Fordham just got waxed by Dayton here, but I kind of figured that one. And then Ball State lost by 5 points here on the road to Ohio here. How about that? And Nevada ended up losing, but they ended up covering the +9.5 on the spread. So we only won 1, 2. We only won one out of 2 in the women's, and we were 2 out of 3 out of the men's. So we weren't very successful there. So wasn't very successful there. So, but we got games today. Let's talk about it here. We'll start off with the ladies today. Make it ladies' night here, like I'm doing Women Crush Wednesday. So it's ladies' night here. Obviously, there's already 2 games underway. One was already went underway, and George Washington ended up beating Fordham, the Lady Rams of Fordham. And the significance of this, why I'm bringing this up here, is the Lady Colonials of George Washington have not beaten Fordham in a long time. And today to get this big victory and watch them, and I mean Fordham tried down the stretch to come back and make it close. So, but I'm just bringing the game up to be significant that George Washington has not beaten these girls in quite so many years. So it's great that they can get and actually be tied now, but actually hold the tiebreaker over Fordham in the conference in the A10, the Atlantic 10, that is in the ladies. And we have Colgate is trailing right now. Colgate, brush your teeth, Colgate. The Lady Raiders are down by 21 points here to the Lady Terriers of Boston University in the fourth quarter here, 65-44. So the Lady Colgate Raiders, brushing flossing is not helping fend off against the Terriers. We got the first quarter here. We got the Lady Owls from Florida Atlantic up 19-16 over the Lady Panthers of Florida International. And we have the ladies from St. Bonnie taking on the Lady Dukes of Duquesne. Then we have the Lady Rams of VCU taking on the Lady Spiders of Richmond. Then we have the Lady Valkyros of Rio Grande Valley taking on the Tarleton State, the Lady Texans. Then we have the George Mason, the Lady Patriots taking on the Lady Explorers of LaSalle. Then we have the Lady Wildcats of Davidson taking on the Lady Flyers of Dayton. We have the Lady Bulldogs of Bryant taking on the Lady Great Danes of Albany. We have the Lady Bulldogs of Butler taking on the Lady Hoyas of Georgetown. The Lady Bulls of Buffalo taking on the Lady Bobcats of Ohio. The Lady Knights of Bellarmine taking on the East Kentucky Lady Colonials. Then we have the Lady Tigers of Memphis taking on the Lady Bulls of South Florida. The Lady Bison of Bucknell taking on the Lady Greyhounds of Loyola, Maryland. We have the Lady Mountain Hawks of Lehigh taking on the Lady Crusaders of Holy Cross. We have the Lady Zips of Akron taking on the Lady Eagles of Eastern Michigan. We have the Lady Black Knights taking on the Lady Eagles of American University. And we have the Lady Cardinals of All-State taking on the Lady Rockets of Toledo. We have the Lady Sycamores of Indiana State taking on the Lady Purple Aces of Evansville. Then we have the Lady Bruins of Belmont taking on the Lady Racers of Murray State. We have the Lady Salukis taking on the Lady Bears of Missouri State. We have the Lady Panthers of Northern Iowa taking on the Lady Bulldogs of Drake. We got the Lady Highlanders of New Jersey IT taking on the Lady Bearcats of Binghamton. We have the Lady Huskies of Northern Illinois taking on the Lady Broncos of Western Michigan. We have the Lady Mean Green versus North Texas. We have the Lady Texters of Louisiana Tech. We have the Lady Bulldogs of Asheville, North Carolina, taking on the Lady Lancers of Longwood. We have the Ladies of Presbyterian, the Lady Blue Hose, taking on the Lady Running Bulldogs of Gardner Webb. We have the Lady Owls of Rice taking on the Lady Raiders of Middle Tennessee State. We have the Eagles of Ladies, the Winthrop Eagles, the Lady Eagles of Winthrop taking on the Lady Highlanders of Radford. We have the Lady Shockers of Wichita State taking on the Lady Green Wave of Tulane. We have the Lady Badgers of Wisconsin taking on the Lady Spartans of Michigan State. We have South Carolina Upstate Lady Spartans taking on the Lady Camels of Campbell. We have the Central Michigan Lady Chippewas versus the Lady Bowling Green Falcons. We have the Lady Buccaneers of Charleston Southern taking on ladies from High Point, the Lady Panthers. We have the ladies from Northwestern with Wildcats, Lady Wildcats taking on the Lady Hawkeyes of Iowa. And we have the Lady Wildcats of Kansas State taking on the ladies of Iowa State, the Lady Cyclones. Then we have the Oklahoma State Cowgirls taking on the Baylor Bears, Lady Bears. We have the Lady Huskies of Connecticut taking on the ladies of St. John's. We have Villanova Wildcats in DePaul. We have UTEP in Texas San Antonio. We have Penn State Nittany Lions in Nebraska. We have Oklahoma Sooners and Texas Lady Tech Red Raiderettes. And we have Valparaiso Beacons and University of Illinois Chicago. That is for the ladies. That is your ladies action right now here. Let's go to the men's side here. We'll go to the men's side of the action here. And we got the Virginia Catamounts and the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. We had American Eagles versus Army. We have Mississippi State Bulldogs and Georgia Bulldogs, the Battle of the Bulldogs here. We have the Baylor Bears and West Virginia Mountaineers. We have the Pitt Panthers taking on the Duke Blue Devils. We have the Virginia Tech Hokies taking on Syracuse Orange. Indiana Hoosiers and Penn State Nittany Lions. We have the Yukon Huskies taking on the Marquette Golden Eagles. We have the Boston College Eagles taking on the Miami, Florida Hurricanes. We had St. Bonaventure Bonnies taking on the Rhode Island Rams. We have the Memphis Tigers taking on the Central Florida Knights. We have Southern Illinois, the Salukis taking on Indiana State, the Sycamores. We have the Hampton Pirates and William and Mary Tribe. We have the Duquesne Dukes and St. Joseph's Hawks. We have the College of Charleston Cougars and North Carolina Wilmington Seahawks. We have Alabama Crimson Tide and Arkansas Razorbacks. We have Richmond Spiders and Davison Wildcat. We have North Carolina A&T Aggies and the Elion Phoenix. Western Carolina Catamounts, Chattanooga Mocs. We have Creighton Blue Jays and Xavier. We have Monmouth Hawks and Hofstra Pride. We have Townsend versus Delaware. We have Furman and Mercer. We have East Tennessee State and Citadel. We have LaSalle and UMass. We have North Carolina Greensboro. Greensboro versus Virginia Military Institute, VMI. We have Albany versus Bryant. We have Loyola, Maryland Greyhounds versus Bucknell. We have High Point Panthers versus Charleston Southern. We have Boston University Terriers against Colgate Men. Then we have New Hampshire Wildcats and the Maine Black Bears. We have Holy Cross and Lehigh. We have Binghamton and New Jersey IT. We have Lafayette and Navy. We have Gardner Webb and Presbyterian. We have Campbell and we have South Carolina Upstate. We have Radford, the Highlanders, and Winthrop. We have Abilene Christian versus Texas Rio Grande, the Valkyros. Then we have Florida Atlantic Owls and FIU. Then we have South Florida versus Houston. We got Tulane versus SMU. We have Missouri State and Illinois State. We got Evansville versus Bradley. We got Chicago State taking on Tarleton State. We got Wofford and Sanford here. We got Middle Tennessee versus Rice. We have George Mason versus St. Louis. We have Louisiana Tech versus North Texas. We have Missouri versus Texas A&M. Then we have Florida State versus Wake Forest. We got Louisville versus Clemson. At TCU in Texas. We got San Antonio Roadrunners versus the UTEP Miners, El Paso Miners. We got East Carolina versus Cincinnati. We got Western Kentucky UAB. We have Rutgers Scarlet Knights versus Northwestern. We got UC Davis and Cal State Northridge. We got Utah Valley and Cal Baptist. Then we got UC Riverside and UC San Diego Tritons. We have the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos and Cal State Bakersfield. We got Cal State Fullerton versus UC Irvine. We got Boise State taking on UNLV. And we have Cal taking on Washington State. So that is the men's side here. All right, let's look at the NBA action. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Detroit Pistons. We have the Chicago Bulls taking on the Washington Wizards. The Indiana Pacers taking on the New York Knicks. We have the New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Boston Celtics. We have the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. The San Antonio Spurs and the Memphis Grizzlies. Houston Rockets and the Sacramento Kings. And the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. All right. And then we got hockey. Can't forget hockey on here. Let's not leave out hockey on the night here. Who drops the puck? And then we're going to get to what everybody loves to hear. What are my plays and my picks for the day here? Okay, we got Washington Capitals taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. We have the Nashville Predators, the Toronto Maple Leafs. We had Edmonton Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. We have San Jose Sharks and the Los Angeles Kings. So that is basically your... So let's go to... We'll do what we did yesterday. We'll do college first because it starts first here. And we'll make that the first pick out of the day here. We're going to make the college hoops one first here. All right, we'll start on the lady side here. We'll start on the lady side here. We'll look at see which side we like here. Obviously, St. Bonaventure's here. Dang, they're wow. They must not have a very good record here. Ooh, the ladies from Navy have not won in the season. They're 0-15. Do they get their first win today here? St. Bonaventure's here. Dang, they're 3-15. Holy smokes! No, I don't like that one here at all. Here we have ladies from Rio Grande here, 7-7 versus Tarleton here. We have 9-7 George Mason girls versus the 8-8-1 LaSalle. I mean, interesting. All right. Rice, I mean, 10-3 in Middle Tennessee. I mean, there's some decent ones. I mean, the Dayton Flyers, they're 2-12 here against the girls from. Do we take them tonight here? Do we take the Lady Flyers here? I say we do. We'll take the Lady Flyers here. That'll be the first one here. I think that'll be the first. Damn Butler girls, they must be they must be terrible here. 5-11 against 12-7. I mean, does Bryant's girls cover the plus 16? Let's do that here. We'll take the plus 16. We haven't really took too many double digit here on the lady side here in a bit here, so we'll take that here. We'll take the Lady Black Knights here of Army here as well here. Make that 3 here. And it's weird that they don't really show. Um, we'll go with Northern Iowa girls here. Let's take that here. We'll take those 4 right there. We'll take Northern. On the money line, plus 215 here. Then we're taking Army. The Lady Knights here. on the money line here. Plus 361 here. Then we're taking a Bulldog to Bryant here. Plus the 16 on the spread here. All right. Then we take Dayton here. Money line plus 102. All right. So there we go. We took four of the ladies' games that we thought, that I kind of went through here, or at least the ones they're showing here. All right, so let's look at here as far as I like American here to upset the Army here. I don't know. I'm just on the money line here. Plus 102 here. I'm not a hater. I'm just saying. Um, I like the Sycamores of Indiana tonight here. Indiana State here. Money line minus 208 here. Give me Carl to Charleston as well here. Money line minus 147 here. All right. Little camels, little fighting camels over here. I was trying to find a double-digit team that maybe be able to cover here. Louisville, maybe 17. I mean, Cal's actually been on a roll here. We'll take Cal. We'll take Cal Berkeley here. Take them plus the 13 on the spread here. We make that here. If we made that an actual bet here, we'd be cashing out at $536.33 here. There is the college picks that we have tonight here. If you're wondering who I'm going with, these are the ones I'm laying my picks here. The ladies from Northern Iowa money line. I'm taking the ladies from the Knights of Army money line. I'm taking the Lady Bryant Bulldogs plus 16. Taking the Lady Dayton Flyers on the money line plus 102. I'm taking men's American Eagles money line plus 102. I'm taking Indiana State Sycamores money line minus 208. College of Charleston Cougars money line minus 147. And Cal Bears plus the 13 on the spread against Washington State. So that is our college hoops picks here. If anybody's curious, please we'll repeat them at the end here. We're gonna go through the NBA now here. Now that I did read off my old ones here, I'll delete those ones here, keep the new ones here alive. That way I don't get confused here. All right, NBA picks now here. All right, we gotta put our thinking caps on today here. We gotta put our thinking caps on. And yesterday we didn't do too bad. We picked Oklahoma State. We picked Oklahoma Thunder plus the 2 on the spread. That was a great cover. We had the over in the Jazz game. We had the Suns plus 12. I mean, it would have been nice if we would have fully committed to the Suns, but I just felt like that number was just too kind of So we weren't all bad here. We weren't all bad here. We just the over under here with the Pistons and the 76ers, that was a bad one. The Trailblazers and then the Mavs and the Clippers. I knew should have known that was going to be an under. So not too bad. Like I said, we missed on the under. Should have probably just picked Philadelphia money line outright, and should have definitely took the under in the Mavs and Clippers, and maybe in the Trailblazers we would have took the Orlando Magic plus the points here. But I was thrown off them the other night because of that. So we didn't do too bad. So if we could minimize that to where we didn't lose any games like the other night, we'll be fine. All right. So now we're looking at. All right. Let me close that here. We're looking at some serious numbers here. We got to really think about who's playing, who's not, which teams are doing well here. Obviously, Pistons are on a back to back here. They were able to score over the points that had to be allowed, 225. That's why tonight the over under between the Timberwolves and the Pistons is 232 here. Obviously, the Timberwolves are favored by 5.5 on the spread, and so um my take here, if I have to take one take here, I'm either going this. I'm either taking the over or I'm taking the Timberwolves. Just because the fact that I know that the Pistons went over against the 76ers and they had Embiid and they had, so I know exactly what the Tim. So for our sake here, let's ride the over here. We'll ride the over here in this over 232 in this T-Wolves here. T-Wolves and Pistons here. I mean, it could obviously always can go under here, but I don't know. I feel like both these teams can put up some points here, and both teams are incredibly. I mean, obviously the Timberwolves are probably in a little bit better position right now than the Pistons are, so that's why I feel like that. But I feel like the Pistons still have a fight in them here. Detroit is a city that's a fighter city, and obviously the Pistons that they got out there right now representing them are fighting. They're not lying down out there, and they're not just gonna just lay down and just get their butts whooped. All right, the Wizards. Um, Wizards here. Another back to back. They're playing the Bulls here. You know me. I gotta go Chicago. I gotta go Chicago minus the 1 here. I have to go my boys. I have to go my Bulls minus the 1 on the spread here. I think we've been playing a lot better basketball. The Wizards have it as well, but I just feel like right now we're trying to put together is here. We're in the playing game right now, but if we could get healthier and hopefully maybe we get Lonzo, or maybe we don't get Lonzo back this season. I don't know. I can't really tell you if we're going to get him back or not. That's up to Lonzo and up to those guys to tell you. But the Bulls right now, they're starting to play better basketball, and I definitely enjoy that as a fan. And but the Wizards are, Wizards are an interesting team too, and they're competitive. These guys, they play with amongst each other. Kuzma, Porzingis, and all those, Ruri, Hachimari, all of those guys, Morris, they all play off each other. They play like those guys were kind of, felt like they were discarded or nobody wanted them, and everybody just doubting them all the time. And they have that, they play, and they kind of play that type of basketball, and you play with that type of, you're probably going to win more games. I mean, you probably you lose to the teams that you probably lose to, but you might actually get some wins out of that one too. But you'll actually beat some of these other teams. So it'll be interesting tonight here to see between the Bulls and the Wizards. We have the Pacers and we have the Knicks here. Obviously, the Pacers have been, they've been an interesting team. They've been playing a lot better as of late here, and the Knicks here. So we got over under 226 and a half. I always talk about I don't like this team, but I think I'm gonna take Pacers tonight plus the 4.5 here on the spread. Again, I think Indiana's playing a lot better basketball right now here, so I hope that can continue tonight against the Knicks, which are the Knicks are they're still dealing with the injury of R.J. Barrett and everything of that nature. So it's mighty tough. It's mighty tough. The next game we have the Pelicans and we have the Celtics here. Well, I don't know if Zion's playing or not here. I'm assuming he's. I mean, if it was, it'd be a lot more closer here. And I don't know if CJ McCollum is not. So we'll have to check it out here. Let's check it out here. Let's check. I like to go to this underdog. Because usually a lot of times it'll show. So we're gonna look at it from that point of view here and see. Okay, what are we dealing with here? Okay, so the Bulls. Okay, we got Zach LaVine here. We got Vucevic. You got Patrick Williams, Caruso here. All right, and then for the Wizards, they got Kyle Kuzma. You got Monte Morris here. Okay, so there's a a few props up right now here. Obviously, the Rudy Gobert here. And there's D'Angelo Russell, and Jaden McDaniels here. Then we got Brogdon. I call him Mr. Australian Bojangles. Jaden Ivey, Killian Hayes, Sadiq in a roll. Okay, that's an interesting name there. All right. So the Pacers, you got Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Miles Turner. Interesting. Nobody for the Knicks yet, as far as player props. All right. So you got C.J. McCollum. You got Eunice Valanciunas. You got Najee Marshall, Trey Murphy. Obviously, there's no Herbert Jones or there's no Zion. So there's no Boston props here. So Milwaukee, we have Giannis here. We have Drew Holiday. We have Brooke Lopez. We got Grayson Allen. We got Pat Connaughton. We got Bobby Portis. Joe Angles. And interesting, I think Trey Young is not playing tonight, so it's going to be all DeJounte Murray all day, every day. So we got DeAndre Hunter, and we got John Collins, and you got Nick Okongwu. We got Bogdanovich. And then we got for the Spurs, we got Trey Jones, Jakob Pertl, Jeremy Sochan, Romeo Langford. Obviously for the Grizzlies, you got John Morant, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams, Dylan Brooks, Stanley Almain, and Tyus Jones here. All right. For the Suns, you got Mikal Bridges, Dwayne Washington, Torrey Craig. Those guys obviously played yesterday. You got the Joker. You got Jamal Murray. You got Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon. You got Katavious Caldwell Pope. You got Bruce Brown. All right, Sacramento, you got Fox. You got Sabonis. You got Barnes. You got Keegan Murray. You got Malik Monk. Obviously, no Kevin Huerter. Doesn't look like Kevin Huerter is going to be playing. So we got Jalen Green here. We got Kevin Porter Jr. You got Osper Sagoon. We got Jabari Smith. You got Eric Gordon. You got Kenyon Martin Jr. So that kind of speaks light, but that doesn't mean that those are just only early observations here. So, I'm gonna go on a limb and say we're going under 231 here with the Celtics here. Oh, maybe this game is closed right now. I don't know. But I'm gonna take Milwaukee on the road here. All right, since Pelicans game we got the Bucks here. Bucks money line minus 185 here. Yes, 185 here. And yeah, we're gonna take the under in that Pelicans game here. Under 231 and a half. And the Pelicans and the Celtics here. We'll just add it in there later here. Then we have the Spurs. We have the Spurs and the Grizzlies here. I mean, obviously 238 and a half here, dude. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of scoring here. I highly doubt that. I mean, the Spurs kept it competitive against, but I'm gonna take the under in this game. I have to take the under here. Under 230 and a half, 238 and a half here, and the Spurs. I mean, no, I'm probably gonna get spurred taking these unders here. And we have the Rockets and the Kings here. Kind of actually, in this Rockets and Kings game, I like the over here. I like the over here. The over 236 and a half here. And Suns are on a back-to-back here. I mean, to me, that it's gonna be tough for them. I mean, even they don't have Chris Paul and those guys. I mean, they beat the Warriors, but I don't know if they. I'm gonna say I ain't done this in a while, but I'm gonna say give me the Nuggets plus. Give me the Nuggets. Nuggets minus 14 on the spread. I don't like this back-to-back spot here for the Suns here. They got the big victory last night, but I think playing here tonight, they're gonna get beat pretty good. I think tonight. That's just my prediction. If I'm gonna go out there and anything like that here, they're gonna get beat ugly here, and I just don't. To me, I don't. I just don't believe they. Oh, because it's now 2:30 here. Well, whatever it is. 2:30 here. 30 and a half here. Whoop. All right, so there we have it there. Let's We're gonna tally it all up here now. All right. This is the NBA pick parlay that we are leaning with right now. We took the over 232 points for the Timberwolves and the Pistons. Bulls minus the 1 on the spread to win by a point. We got Pacers plus 4.5 on the spread. We have Bucks money line. We have the under 230.5 in the Pelicans and Celtics. We have the under 238.5 during the Spurs and Grizzlies. We have the over 236.5 in the Rockets Kings. And we have the Nuggets minus 14 here. So we comp that up here with our first pick here. Obviously here we'll read off the college picks, our college picks and our NBA picks, and then we'll be done here. We're gonna get offline. We had to handle some business here within the hour or so. So definitely want to get off and be able to get ready to handle that. So, but Northern Iowa, the Lady Panthers of Northern Iowa, we got them on the money line. We have the Lady Knights of Army on the money line to win. We got the Lady Bulldogs of Bryant to cover the 16 points on the spread. We have the Lady Flyers winning on the money line. We have the men's American Eagles over the Army money line. You have Indiana State Sycamores money line. And we have the College of Charleston Cougars money line. And then we have the Cal Golden Bears plus the 13 points on the spread tonight here. That is the college picks. Now we go to the NBA. We took the over 232 points in the Timberwolves and Pistons. We're taking the Bulls minus 1 on the spread. We're taking Pacers plus 4.5 on the spread. We're taking the Milwaukee Bucks money line minus 185. We have the under 230.5 Pelicans and Celtics. We have the under 238.5 between the Spurs and Grizzlies. We took the over 236.5 between the Rockets and Kings, and we took a real wild. This is probably the wild one here, minus 14 with the Nuggets. But I don't know. I kind of feel like it's the hardest one to cash, but I feel like this is my favorite bet of the night. I feel like, because everybody thinks, okay, well, the Suns, they don't got their guys. Oh, well, look at what happened last night. They did to the Warriors with Steph Curry and all them. Well, Steph Curry and them are just coming back. The Nuggets have been a well-oiled machine. They've had some, ups and downs here, this and that, but they've been pretty consistent. And so against the team that I just seen, if that's the same guys going out there to play against them, I'm highly motivated to bet my money on the minus 14 for the Nuggets. So those are the picks. Those are the plays. This is the sports show for today. Tomorrow and Friday I'm gonna try to take a little more time. I want to get on earlier and I want to dissect the playoff games, tell you my favorite playoff games, break down the playoff histories of these teams if they've ever had a playoff history against each other. Have they played recently? What's leading up to this? How did they get there? And just all that good type of stuff. So we'll be doing that as tomorrow and basically Friday, and then Saturday we'll definitely try to get on early to try to do a better show and all that. So for Fresh and Funky, we'll be on tonight doing Women Crush Wednesday mix. So if you want to come back and listen to that here, it'll be on in a few hours here after I eat my dinner and all that and get situated and all that. So, but bid you adieu. Take it easy. And let's have a happy sports day.